can music really be timeless anymore?
Have the amount of one-hit wonders changed the music industry forever?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Pretty much anywhere you go in the world, you are going to hear music. If you're alone in your home, you're going to hear music on your phone. If you're watching a movie, if you're watching television, if you're going to a store, if you're anywhere in public, music is everywhere in the world.
Yes.
And there is a quality about it that is ubiquitous. And I think that with that comes a sort of stickiness. You know what I mean?
No, what do you mean?
So like, I think that even if people don't say, like, have you ever heard people that say they don't like music?
I have met like 6 people on Earth who don't like music. Every time they're very peculiar people, but I have run into them. Yes, why?
Yeah, I'm sure those people still have a favorite song, or at least a sound that they like that
Or
resembles...
their mom used to sing to them when they were a kid. There's always something.
Exactly. There's music is hand in hand, I think, with being human. You know what I mean? Like, we are just musical people, and we've been doing music for a long time. So like, music as a whole, timeless. But I think, I don't know, when it comes to the whole saturation thing, I mean, the market is flooded, dude.
What do you mean by the saturation thing, for anybody who doesn't know?
Okay, so for instance, you and I both have everything that we need to make a full song in our room right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. There are so many other people in the world like us. And with that comes a higher, I don't know, I guess a higher amount of people making music in the world and more music in the world as a result. Okay?
Sure.
So we have a way to make music faster. Back in the day, music took a long time to make. Mixing, mastering, editing, you had to literally snip that shit with like the tape. You know what I mean?
You also had to be able to get into a space like that and be taken seriously enough and have the raw talent enough that it wasn't even doctored, that you could get into the studio space in the first place. Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah. So now we have this high access to music. And with that has come this, I think, a sort of lackluster attitude about music as a whole.
Wow, what do you mean by that? Do you mean that the artists are being lackluster, or do you mean that people who are intaking it are being lackluster with their intake? What do you mean by lackluster? Because it sounds like you're throwing shots, bro. Who are you throwing shots at?
I'm throwing shots at people who do not categorize themselves as music lovers. Okay, if you're a music lover, you do not fall into this category. All right, if you're a normal person, I think that you probably, without even knowing, you have a bias that has sort of conditioned you to feel like the music that you hear is good music when it actually isn't, right?
Wow.
Because there is so much of it, right?
Now, when this, because I feel like I've dealt with this, and I've kind of talked about this previously on different places. Like, when you say you're biased, are you talking about the bias that people kind of build up towards a certain artist, regardless of what their music sounds like or not? Because I feel like, you know, I mean, we've definitely experienced it with the new Drake. Because with the, for all the dogs, we definitely dealt with this for all the dogs. Yeah. Where it's like, you can hear For All the Dogs and you look back and you're like, this is what all Drake sounds like. Why are people mad? It's because they're mad at Drake. They're not mad at the music because of that, you know.
Exactly.
That dichotomy. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, kind of. It's sort of like that, but towards music all together. So like let me paint you this picture. Sure. So we as cool people, as humans, over time, we've used different words to signify that we understand the cool vernacular that's being used in today's language, right? You understand the words that are being used, like slay, eat, stuff like that sounds silly or might sound silly, or, you know, like terminology that was used in the 90s that would be unacceptable to use today for describing things, right?
Like fresh.
Exactly, which I still use. So thank you for using that one.
Hey.
But look, no, it's like this. Over time, we have a bias to just accept people saying slay or he ate You know what I mean? And then just accepting that as a normal thing. You know what I mean? When that's not a normal thing, really. We're just that thing is being pushed on us en masse, right? Now, cross that over to music in the industry that's been happening. All of the music that's been made and the way the direction that it's been headed, the doo-doo that's being pressed out en masse. I think it's convincing people to actually like doo-doo.
Who's doo-doo?
That's who's doo-doo?
Yeah. Drop names.
In particular?
Drop names.
Ooh. Let me go lock my door.
Go ahead. Lock your door and then drop names.
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
I want names. I want names, dude.
All right. Who listens to Justin Timberlake anymore? Fergie? What you doing, Fergie? Fergie's not even a part of the Black Eyed Peas anymore. Period. Right? Okay.
She went solo. That's on her. Don't put that on the Peas. Don't put that on the Peas, bro. She went solo herself.
Okay. Maybe not. Maybe not good examples, but at the very least, Justin Timberlake did have a very real time where his music was shining. Okay.
JT's still hot. He's not popular currently. Nah, he was on the Trolls album. Niggas was slapping Trolls. SZA was on the Trolls album.
Slapping Trolls. Here's another example.
Go ahead, give me something else. Go ahead.
For me to say that Yeat is a good artist is a prime example of exactly what I'm talking about.
You don't think Yeat is God?
I think that my bar has been lowered to accept the things that Yeat is doing as good. You know what I mean? I love that shit. Don't get me wrong, bro. I love that shit. But dude, I'm saying, bro.
So and I just want to make sure before I even give my take on it, you're saying that over time, music has sucked so long that we're used to music sucking to the extent that the music that we listen to now is more so based on the personality rather than the actual music in general. Is that correct?
That's a dimension of it. But let me give you the top face of it, okay?
What's the top face?
The top face is that I think that so many people have access to the ability to make music that sounds halfway decent that people are convinced that halfway decent sounding music is good music. And when they accept that, they accept it because the person is cool. Like you said, the personality as opposed to the actual skill, all of the kinds of things. And then we're listening to 6ix9ine and taking 6ix9ine seriously. You know what I mean?
Yes. I can't go farther into that. I can't go any farther than that. Because the thing is, it's like with 69, right?
69er. Yeah.
With 69er. When he's putting it, I think this kind of, and this is gonna be a hot take, and I think niggas is gonna be on my ass for this one, but I think it started with Yeezus.
Ooh.
Now look, this is not me saying Yeezus is a bad album. I love Yeezus. What I'm saying is, I think it was so experimental and he was so influential that it was hard to tell whether people were Kanye fans or Yeezus fans. I think
totally
that
agree.
mix started a real fucky thing. Not funky, fucky. Real fucky thing going on. To the point where it's like, we don't know what we really like. And I can listen to On Sight enough to be like, this slaps.
Of course.
I can listen to Bound 2 enough to be like, this slaps.
Right.
But when it first came out, my dick was soft. I mean, soft. Like,
right.
Like soiled aloe plant soft.
And people were raging to the streets to tell everyone. That's from Yeezus, right? Those songs are from Yeezus?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. People were taking to the streets to tell everyone how great Yeezus was and how everyone needed to be on the Yeezus train. I don't think that Yeezus was... Dude,
You have
I
to
don't
look
even think
directly to
Jesus-
camera when you say this. You have to look directly to
okay.
camera. Look directly in their eyes, bro. Because you're about to
I
say
don't
some
think-
crazy shit.
I don't
I'm
think Jesus
gonna
was that-
say it. Hold up. But before you even do that,
Disclaimer.
I just know this guy, right? Like
Uh-huh.
we work together. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever he says is up to him. All right.
My opinions do not reflect his opinions.
They do not reflect. Go ahead.
I don't think Jesus is actually. I'm not sure if Jesus was actually that good.
Nah, say it with your chest, nigga. Don't roll it back, nigga. Don't roll
Honestly,
it back,
I feel
bro.
like Jesus. I feel like Jesus was overrated. I feel like Jesus was overrated, bro. For real. And I think that's a part of what you're saying. I think that's a part of the problem was that there was people that were out there campaigning for Jesus. And there were people out there like, hey man, you know, it's an okay album, but it's not like Take to the Streets, Kanye's changing the world.
Well, let's play. So like, where does the point between experimentation and newness, where do those intersect, divide? Because what he was doing was experimental. He got Rick Rubin in the studio. I mean, those are Rick Rubin sounds. Like, it's weird as fuck. Have you heard his music by itself? Yeah. It's very weird. Like, I think we went through and listened to his music one time because we were like, why? But wow. Yeah. But it was experimental. Where is the difference between experimental and bad? Where do you draw the line?
It's dubbed the Korn line. And Kendrick is very familiar with the Korn line. Future's familiar with the Korn line.
Did he just call Kendrick Lamar corny?
No. I said he's familiar. Familiar. If you're rapping, if you're making music, fuck rapping. If you're making music, period, at all, if you're writing down words that goes with music, you're going to walk up to the Korn line. If you're producing, if you're mixing, if you're mastering music, there is a line that is the Korn line. You know what I mean?
Let's talk Hopsin to Jay-Z.
Yeah. Okay. So Hopsin, I mean, everybody's walked up to the Korn line. I believe you have to walk up to the Korn line. I think you don't.
You don't.
You do.
JPEG Mafia has never walked up to the Korn line. Death Grips has never once walked up to the Korn line. And look, when it comes to experimentation, Death Grips and JPEG Mafia are both big proponents of experimentation, and neither of them have ever touched a piece of Korn in their goddamn lives.
Okay. You very well be. I think you can refrain from Korn, but I think that it does come with the territory. It may not be only corny, but it's like this. I think that you always are going to you risk venturing into the realm of not likability when you're experimenting. And I don't think that experimenting is bad. You know what I mean? I like experimental albums. You've heard Pink Sifu or tried to listen to Pink Sifu.
Tried my fucking heart out, dude. But I guess I'm like, where do you draw the line then? Because you like Pink Sifu, but you're saying experimenting is corny. You're saying Kendrick Lamar's corny, and then you're saying you like
experimenting is corny. You're corny for saying that.
Where do you draw the line?
Oh, I did not say experimenting is corny. Look, I love Tizo Touchdown, and people would say that he's corny.
He said Tizo Touchdown is corny? God damn.
I think people would say he's corny, but I don't go there.
You think he's corny?
I swear to God, Garnett. You motherfucker. All right. Moving on. Dude, okay. Is okay, all right. But on the topic of timelessness and music and looking forward to the future.
Yeah.
With the combination of ChatGPT being integrated into like everybody's everyday lives, it's only a matter of time until people start using this shit to make music, right? To help out with lyrics, to I don't know, word search or like,
Lupe made an album with ChatGPT.
there you go. It's already been done. So
Been done, long time.
So where do you think that might take the music scene as it gets integrated, as it gets oversaturated, as Chat GPT and AI gets integrated with all of this stuff? Do you think timelessness is going to remain a thing, or do you think timelessness is going to evolve into something that doesn't look like timelessness anymore?
Well, look, I think it depends on what we mean by timeless. And when I started this idea of timelessness in my head when we first pitched this, it's like what I was thinking was timeless. I was thinking of timeless as a bar, where it's like if you make timeless music, I think your music will stand the test of time, and I will always want to hear your music, and you're that goated that you'll always be timeless. But that's not the only definition of timelessness. And it's like I think the idea of timelessness that I originally had a dimension of it that was attached to popularity that I either knowingly or unknowingly added in there. Because when people say timeless, they're not talking about The Festival by Mac Miller. They're not talking
Rory's
about
album.
Rory's album. Yeah, it's like
yeah.
there are people who are releasing music that I will listen to for the rest of my life, but will never be known popularly.
Yeah.
And I guess that kind of goes to, the narrowcast world we live in, where it's like we used to live in a broadcast world. I mean, now we live in a narrowcast world. But I think that should be factored in. I don't think that should be factored in when it comes to timeless music. So that being said, yes, I think timeless music can absolutely still exist as long as we break our idea of timeless music away from a broadcast system.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean?
That's beautiful. Actually, I wrote something down that's kind of adjacent to that, which kind of is perfect. I was thinking like, on the subject of narrowcasting in music, like people back in the day used to like, I love Michael Jackson. I listened to all of his albums. I love this band. I listen to all of their albums. And now early 2000s, oh yeah, I fuck with this album, this album, this album. You know what I mean? Now even narrower, this song, this song, this song. You know what I mean? So I think timelessness is still gonna, like you said, it's still gonna be there. And I think that the bullshit gets weeded out whether or not, you know what I mean, people want the bullshit to be weeded out. You know what I mean? But
yeah, absolutely.
I think that like it will be narrowcasted and evolved until we come around to something that makes everybody happy. You know what I mean? Basically.
So you think it's gonna go back in a circle?
I feel like it might go back in a circle and improve on itself, sort of just how everything does, kind of spiraling. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I think we'd need something really big for that. But I guess my last thought on this is like, it comes back to the is hip hop dead or not thing, where it's like hip hop is dead if you're looking at it. If you're looking at it from a place of popularity.
Yeah.
But if you're not looking at it from a place of popularity, you're talking about whether hip hop exists, that exists.
Yeah.
But I don't think there will be popular timeless hits anymore. I don't think that'll be a thing. I don't think we'll have another Michael Jackson or another Drake or another Kanye or another. I think that has died and will be dead forever. But I think from now on we'll have cults. We'll have music cults. Like, I love Tizo Touchdown. I'm going to be listening to Tizo Touchdown. I like Group Therapy. I'm going to be listening to Group Therapy. I like this. I like this. I like this. And we're going to be, sectioning ourselves off and listening to what we like and falling deeper in love with these artists because we don't feel like we need to be a part of what's popular. We can just be a part of what the fuck we like.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a beautiful enmeshing of all of that shit. And Tizo, I think that Tizo will show us if we're right or not. If not, he'll become the next. Dare I say Prince? Dare I say? But if not, I mean, we'll just love all of his songs and move forward like that. So what do we think?
Still on, I guess. The bet is still
What
on.
do we what do we think?
Can music be timeless anymore? Absolutely.
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 We're not going to get any more pop stars. I think we're done with that.
No more Billy Idols, or is it Billy Joel? Some shit like that. Both of them.
None of the Billies. No Billies. No Billie Eilish.
No more Billies.
No more Billies.
Mystery with the Billies, bro. That's all I gotta say.
The Billies are done. Oh god.
Yeah.
If you agree with us in this episode, hit subscribe. If you don't agree with us, hit subscribe anyways and argue with us about it.